Hello again, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener, and this is part 2 on how to prune your roses for winter. So it's important to whack the roses down, give them a good hard pruning in December and January, because this will kind of slow the roses down so they have a really fabulous bloom in March and April and May. Roses need a couple of months off to really have long, healthy lives. So we want to prune them down hard in December and January. So, as you saw in the first video, we've already pruned the top off the rose. Now we're going to start looking at the cane layout. So this is an old rose. It's about 15 years old. And as you can see, it's got about a dozen canes in it. So it's important that when you're looking at roses that have more than 5 canes, you want to create a vase. So you don't want canes in the middle of your rose bush. You want a kind of nice peripheral cane layout, kind of like a spiral. So when I look at this rose bush, I want to get rid of old canes, crossing canes, and canes in the middle. So this one, for example, is one of the older ones, probably doesn't produce a lot of great roses. So I take my big loppers and I go all the way down here and I cut it. And keep going until I get that guy off of there. All right, so that guy gets whacked out of here. And then this one also is in the middle, crossing, don't like that. This one's in the middle, although it's a newer one, I don't want rose canes in the middle of the bush because that creates disease centers. So again, whack out old, broken, crossing, and dead. That's kind of the standards. And occasionally you can cut off little guys like this. Now this one is not an older crossing one, but he's half dead, so it's not a very productive cane. So I don't really like that guy. So I'm gonna get that guy out of here. Again, using the lopper to whack him out, cut off some of that peripheral growth. All right, we're starting to get a nice clearing. So now, what do we have left? Well, this guy's kind of small, tiny, and mostly brown, so he's not really gonna do anything. So let's get rid of that guy. This guy, again, mostly dead growth. A little bit of green growth, but not a lot. He's been supplanted by this guy. So let's get rid of that last one I just whacked out. And again, we want to kind of do a little trimming work. It's also important, if you can do it, trim it at a spot where there's an outward facing bud eye. Now, bud eyes become these stems on the outsides of the canes. And again, you want the growth of the rose bush to go out, not in. If it grows out, then airflow can get into the bush. You'll have less disease in the springtime and in the summertime. So again, you see how we've pruned this out. We've really made a nice radial spacing of all the roses, all the rose canes, and it's a little bit more conducive to a healthy rose pruning. So this is, the basics of rose pruning, and that's all you really need to kind of do to get a really basic healthy bush. There's lots of other little tips you can find on my blog for pruning roses, but you want to get your roses looking like this, nice radial spacing. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Again, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener. Make sure to hit like and subscribe to see more of my garden videos. Thanks for watching.